This content has been brought to you by my Patreons, and if you'd like to join them, link is in the description.
What's poppin'? Welcome to Overthrow Media, your best place for politics, hip-hop, and life. It's Bigg Villainus, your comrade revolutionary, dope-ass MC, and an international sex symbol. Today, we're going to be peeping a little bit from The Breakfast Club in an interview with Umar Johnson. We come right back.
Living in the house of usher, parasitical and structure. The plague begins to cluster in the house of usher.
Before we jump into this video, I gotta have a moment for my sponsors. Y'all know, y'all my only motherfucking sponsors, so make sure to cop some of my dope-ass merch or support me on Patreon.
Why do you think that black people don't want to support or is not supporting, or do you feel that, you're not getting the support that you should be getting?
Now, here's the point, and that's a great question, Envy. It's not that black people don't support other black people. We are not used to being responsible for building our own institutions. Are you following me? If I was opening up a nightclub, some sort of a basketball league, I would have the support, but we are not accustomed to being responsible for building our own institutions. So for example, if you look around America, can you show me a single independent black community in 50 states? 50 states, you can't show me one black community where we own the hospital, the bank, the school, and the supermarket. And the reason I point out those four institutions, Envy, is because you need the supermarket to feed the people, the school to teach the people, the hospital to save the people, and the bank to invest in the people. So those are the four essential institutions of an independent community. You don't have those four in any black town anywhere in the United States, and we are a $2 trillion people. How do you explain that? And I would say slavery, one of the psychological residuals of slavery, it took from us that natural desire to want to control your environment and your destiny.
All right, Mr. Umar. I bet you really believe that, huh? But I would challenge you on like every aspect, starting with the aspects that you're going under that capitalism is the right choice for our people. Knowing that capitalism was literally founded off our slavery, off of our backs, off of us being kidnapped from our homelands. That's your first mistake. Second, the idea that we don't have the intellect or the ability to be responsible for our own communities, or that it doesn't exist because we were irresponsible. When the truth is, we have built that over and over again. People have built that from the Black Panther Party all the way back to Black Wall Street. But what happens? Systematic attacks from white supremacy. This is what I talk about when I say some black nationalists being some low-key Uncle Tom shit without even comprehending that they are. We're not a community of people who sit here and cannot build independence. In fact, this whole country is based off our labor, not just our labor, but our intellect, because most of the inventions we use today to run our everyday society to be industrialized is based off of technologies that our people have invented. Literally, these black inventors invented everything from your refrigerators to your seatbelts and so on and so forth. The list of inventions that were created by us goes so far. You wouldn't have computers without us or nothing. And the idea that we don't know how to take territory over our communities is untrue. Most of the things that is shamed in our communities, such as gangs, are literally people taking territory and responsibility for their community and protection of their community. Here's the thing, we're not a homogenous group, and I think this is where a lot of the black nationalists, including Umar, lose everybody, right? We are different communities. We are not one homogenous black people. Now, we are one nation of black people, and I mean black people as in people from this nation, people who were born in this nation, people who ancestors were slaves and were brought here. That's what I'm talking about when I say black people. We exist in a very specific context that I think most black nationalists tend to overlook. As a black anarchist, I see the problem with these hierarchies, because these hierarchies, even when we talk about Umar, are educated in white supremacist institutions. Their auspice and their ideologies are already built into white supremacy. And they don't even see this, how they're replicating the whole system. Now, there's a lot of things he says on this interview that I gotta say I do agree with. He says a lot of fire things, but he also says some things that really miss. This is one of them. Now, do we need to find ways to be able to support our community? Absolutely. We need to find ways to build dual power. We need to find ways to build dual power, and I think that's what we're trying to get at. But we cannot structure under capitalism, because capitalism is only going to serve the opposition. That's the real truth about it. And if we think anything else is going to happen, I think we're caught up in delusions. I think we should look more at the Panthers, more at the Mark Vesey, more at the Nat Turners. You know, I hear where he's coming from, though. We do need to find ways to support our own community. We need to find ways to build our own infrastructure. And we need to find ways to defend it.
The silver lining was that the pandemic gave black parents an opportunity to teach their own children. And I think a lot of black parents learned as a result of that opportunity that they can do this. So I see a lot of parents who are contacting me, Dr. Umar, we need some coaching, because as a result of the pandemic, we started homeschooling our children and we're liking our success. So we're not sending them back. We're going to finish this out, and we need you to help us out with that. So I like the fact that it gave black parents an opportunity to show themselves that educating your own child is not as difficult. It's good for the parent to see, my child don't have a reading disability. He just needed to read more. My daughter don't have a math disability. She just needed to practice her math more. My son don't have ADHD or conduct disorder or oppositional defiance. He didn't need Ritalin or Adderall or Concerta or Metadate or Cycler. He just needed a more rigorous disciplinary program. So a lot of parents have been able to disprove the labels that the school has given their children.
This, on the other hand, was completely on point, because I was one of them children that they try to label as ADD, bipolar, and all these other things within school, because I had behavioral issues that really came from trauma. But I'm going to leave it there for right now. But here's the thing. These schools have not been looking out for us. And I think that's very true. They do not teach our history or the things that our children need to know to survive. And Umar Johnson is hella on point with this. When we see parents bring their children back home to be educated by them, I think we're making steps up, not steps back, because the public education system is not set up for us. And the working class black folks don't have the financial resources to set up these systems. A lot of times it comes from bourgeois black folks, which are already kind of indoctrinated within the white supremacist ideologies. Even when they try to make an accent of African diaspora, accents of liberation, it really only falls within the constructs of this society, of this system, of the people who run it. They don't step outside and see what liberation could truly look like. Instead, they try to follow in the footsteps of our oppressors, from co-opting other people's actual cultures and trying to mash it together to make our own, or by just going straight Tom route. But either way, we end up losing our true identity and the direction we need to go. I think the closest we've had seen in recent history to like a real identity for our people was the Black Panther Party. Now, a lot of things were put in place to destroy that, clearly, but I think their education program was a fundamental part of that, right? Teaching a true history that was contextual to the black people, to the black children who were sitting there and being educated by the Black Panthers, as well as being able to feed them, take care of them and have our communities back. But yeah, I think he has a good point though. Education from our community for our community is extremely important to be able to de-indoctrinate ourselves while developing intellectuals that will give any European a run for their money. Shit, not even run for their money. We'll smash them motherfuckers, you know what I mean, bruh? Like, serious, bro. We the fucking geniuses that created everything, bro. Hey, bro, architecture, us. Fucking invention, science, us. Mathematics, us. Just saying, we got this, bruh. We really got to understand that we got this, family. All right.
Licensed as a carpenter, licensed as a welder. Those were the skills that paid your bills. The problem with the college education, not to downplay it. I'm a doctor. I got 6 degrees, 3 universities. I'm not downplaying the college degree, but we have to understand something. The university gives you a competency. If Charlemagne has a degree in art history, you're competent. You have an intellectual knowledge base. Dr. Umar Johnson is a clinical psychology doctor, a certified school psychologist. I have an intellectual information base. But when you can work with your hands, you have a practical skill base that you can apply immediately to get paid. If I can fix windows, I can fix anybody's window. If I could work on a car, I could work on anybody's car. I can get paid above the table or below the table. But my family gonna eat because I can use these hands. But Charlemagne, if my degree is in political science, I have an intellectual knowledge base. How can I apply that in the black community to get paid? If my degree, is in liberal arts, how can I apply that in the black community to get paid? Most of what we learn in college is not economically relevant in the black community, but skills are.
All right, I 100% agree with Umar on this. Skills are fundamental. I know it was a Booker T-ism, but I think Booker T had the boys beat on that. We need the fundamental skills that we can always be able to use. When Windows happen to break, then we can go repair them and we can go, at the same time we protest Nike Town, the next day we can be fixing their windows for them and making some more money, and then the day after that they can need more repairs. It just is what it is. I'm playing. Don't vandalize anything and get caught. It's a joke. I'm just talking. All right, you two, don't demonetize me. I'm joking.
Few moments later.
I'm joking.
3 days later.
I'm joking.
1 eternity later.
Nah, but for real though, fundamentally, actual material skills is important. I was actually thinking a lot about how I've been wanting to open up a drop-in center where we could have community skills and community classes where not only you could learn the basics that you learn in school, and we could have full-on school there, but then you can learn everything from architecture, welding, locksmiths, so on and so forth, masonry, so we can have all the skills that we need to be able to build our society in a way that we need to build it, in a way that we're independent, away from the system that's trying to oppress us. And I think material skills is fundamental to that. Intellectuals, it is cool being an intellectual, but being an intellectual with some skills. Maybe my skills is video editing, and I get that is based off of the technology that exists, but that's still an actual skill that actually can produce something. And I think being able to produce something is crucial if we want to be able to build dual power and build our independence, because they have robbed us of those skills and want us to go to college to become intellectuals and not be able to use those skills for anything. Cool, you got psychology, cool, you got social justice, cool, all those majors that don't do nothing for you. Why the fuck did you go to a white supremacist institution to get a major that is going to do nothing for you? That it's literally the opposite of the institution that you went to. You think they're going to prepare you to be able to do the skills you need? You think they're going to tell you how to be a tactician in the streets? You think they're going to tell you how to be able to shut down infrastructure programs and be able to fight the system that is oppressing you? Or do you think they're going to tell you how to just, get a job that barely pays you shit?
I agree with you. I'm a big trade school proponent. Let's switch gears a little bit, man, because it's been a very dark week, right? People feel like we can breathe again after the Derek Chauvin verdict. And, George Floyd's brother said, justice for Floyd means freedom for us all. What do you think of that?
But Floyd didn't get justice because Floyd isn't coming back from the grave.
Right.
And I want to be very clear. I don't know what Black America is celebrating. The Chauvin conviction was not a cause for celebration. And I want everybody to pump the brakes and understand something. No laws have been changed. No laws have been added to hold the police accountable for the unjustified murder of unarmed black people.
That's right.
So we are right where we were before Chauvin was convicted. And the only reason why he was convicted, to be honest with you, it had nothing to do with black justice. Derek Chauvin was convicted for the same reason O.J. Simpson was acquitted. Now, I don't know if O.J. Simpson was guilty or innocent, but that's irrelevant. The reason O.J. got off in 95 is because the Rodney King riots in 1992 cost Los Angeles County untold millions of dollars in damage. They were still repairing the county when O.J. went to trial. Do you really think they're going to let the city burn down a second time when we haven't done making the repairs from the first riot? It's the same thing in Minnesota.
That's mad facts though. The police, the system don't care about the black community at all. They don't care about Micaiah. They don't care about Dante. Shit, they don't care about the brown community either. They don't care about Mario. They don't care about the little 13-year-old they killed. The only reason that any of this has happened was because, like Umar said, things that got burnt down. So when you try to shame rioters, realize the only reason that we get prosecution of these fucked up ass police is because of those rioters, right? And do I say you should go riot? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm not condoning, I'm not condemning, I'm not saying any of that. I'm just pointing out facts, right? If the city don't tear shit up, if people don't tear shit up, if niggas don't tear shit up, They don't give a fuck what happens to us. They don't give a fuck what the police do. And we never get justice. But because of the fear of the people, the fear of the uprising and resistance that coming from our people, that is why we got supposed justice. But it ain't justice. It's them trying to save their own damn ass. That's it. That's all it is.
Most jurors were white. You only had 4 blacks. You had 2 mixed race. The others was Europeans. I don't think the jurors were afraid per se, but I believe that they were very reasonable, and they said to themselves, this city just burned a year ago. Countless millions of dollars in damages that had to be paid out. If we do not convict him, it's going to burn again. And not only is Minnesota going to burn, half the cities in America are prepared for protests. And let me be clear, they were not concerned about the black protesters. The black protesters did not break the law. They were concerned of the white anarchist groups and the white militia groups who are going to operate under the cover of the black protester to destroy infrastructure and damage property.
What the fuck did you say? White anarchists, huh, bruh? So apparently I'm a white anarchist because I'm a black anarchist, so now a black turns to white because anarchist is in front of it. Do you even know what anarchist means, my nigga? Where the fuck did you get that from? I mean, you clearly weren't out there in the streets, because I know for a fact that being out there, motherfucker, that it was our people tearing up and it was white people trying to stop it. So stop with that Tom shit. And I know Charlemagne's on that shit because Charlemagne stay on that shit. He got too much paper invested in this system to give a fuck about our people. He can talk all this shit about our people, but in the end, it's gonna be his bread before our people. Seems like Umar's on the same shit with that comment, bro. Or I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll just say you're ignorant of what's really going on in the streets. And maybe you need to step off that motherfucking porch, my nigga, and come out here and get it, bro. Let's get out in the field, bro. Not sitting at home in your comfort, but come out in the field. Because if you think that's what was happening, you are tripping. Why would I want to say that? Why would I want to not scapegoat white people for the things that happened to protect people? Well, first off, I'm not telling anybody's name. I don't give a fuck. I don't know who did what. I just saw the pigment of the people who were doing what. And the thing is, it was our people being tired of being abused that made it step up. It is the voice of the oppressed and the unheard. And let's stop playing like these white people are fighting our battles for us, my nigga. That's just out of pocket, bro. We fight our own goddamn battles. In fact, most of the time, white people be on shit like you. Like you just said, Umar. That's what it is. Our ops that were our own skin tone were on shit like you were saying. They were trying to always stop the black militants from stepping up and trying to say we need to walk with the police. We need to kneel with the police. We need to have conversations with the police. The same ones that are killing us. So you mad miss with that one. I mean, that was a straight airball. Whoo! Like, come on, bro. I don't even know what the fuck you thinking. The only thing I can think is if you're coming from a authentic space, then you clearly weren't out there making shit happen. You were clearly sitting back home, watching the news, and listening to the propaganda from Donald Trump. Because, bruh, it was the government trying to say that it was white people fucking it up, not black people. That it was antifa. Nigga, antifa, by the way, means anti-fascist. Means we don't like fascism. We don't like Nazis, bro. That's what it means. You feel me? The anarchist is democracy. Direct democracy. Believing that people should be able to determine their own destiny and not be led by some tyrant. That is what anarchy is. Just to clarify, Umar. Just to clarify.
Black people have been catching hell for 400 years, and we have yet to get an executive order from Joe Biden to protect us from the police, and also Charlemagne and Envy, to further highlight the racism of American government. The transgender executive order is not for people of color. It is not for minorities. It is not for disadvantaged communities. Guess who it's for? Transgender.
Oh my God, Umar, you done lost your mind, bruh. So apparently, like many black nationalists do, and this is why I have issues with black nationalists, bruh. As a black person, as a black anarchist, I have issues with black nationalists. I gotta keep saying this over and over again, apparently, there ain't no black trans people. Deadass. How the fuck do these niggas think that it isn't affect black people? Like, have you not noticed the amount of black trans women being killed left and right? Let's be 100, my nigga. Let's stop playing like it's just one way. There's intersections, bro. Not every black person is a straight hotep dude. I just gotta say that, man. Not all of us are on that, man. Well, your academic ass can sit there and speculate all these things. Like, while you came out of this white institution, you're replicating white ideas. Oh, let me hit you to something real quick. Like, did you know that gender fluid and trans folks existed in Africa as deities before they existed anywhere else as deities or as holy people? You know, we used to respect that. You know what I mean? Like, if you actually study the tribes from Africa before colonization came in and put their own agenda into our minds, you know we used to respect that? Bet you didn't. But you didn't take the time to do that research. But at the same time, I do gotta say, a lot of the resentment towards trans folks or queer folks, towards gay folks, comes from legit spaces. Because a lot of times they're the ones that displace our communities. They help portray black people as violent and demonize us and further white supremacy so many times. With that being said, and with a needing of accountability for gentrification of our communities by queer folks, we gotta recognize our own. Because we got black queer folks all over and they're being gentrified too, just like us. They still stay in the hood with us, don't remember? You don't see the trans woman that you know down the block. Come on, stop playing, my nigga. Like, I don't give a fuck what you're saying. That's our people. And just because you straight and you cisgender and all that shit doesn't mean you supposed to be superior or something, my nigga. Like, you not. Just big facts, bro. Big facts. Now, the thing is, I get what you're trying to say. I think one of the things for people watching that I didn't put in here, because this was a long ass interview, it was like an hour or something, so I didn't throw this in there, but he was speaking on how all these things to protect trans folks, to protect Asian folks, is being put in and implemented through the system. Now, we all know that's just lip service, but his concern is that that's never happened to deal with what's happening to black folks, to protect black people, especially from the police. And I hear that. But how are we gonna rely on a system that really hates us, that fundamentally is founded off being in opposition to us, to protect us? We can't. We gotta protect ourselves. We have to build a road, lines of solidarity between us and other communities. We must find the queer folks in our community and reach out and have these intersectional conversations so we can build solidarity. Huey P. Newton, the founder of Black Panthers, you know, that motherfucker, he understood that clearly. When we saw Stonewall go down, so I think we need to put past all this black nationalist, homophobia, transphobia, hotep bullshit behind us and not try to compete, but just bring attention to the fact that they care the least about us. All right, y'all. If y'all want to see me do some more, to this interview, because there's a lot of other content I could speak on. He says a lot of things, some hella dope, some pretty whack, and I could just drop some more videos about it. But let me know. Put it in the comment section. Have you heard of Umar Johnson? How do you feel about him? How do you feel about Charlamagne and the whole Breakfast Club situation? I love my people, even the ones that irritate me. I rock with it to some degree, and I'm gonna call it the contradictions too. But make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell, personalize it so you can stay notified every time I drop a new video. Make sure to follow me on all my social media. That means Villainus_music at Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, SoundCloud, Patreon, especially that Patreon, and even Twitch. Though I barely use it, I'm not gonna lie. It just keeps dropping, I'm sorry. It keeps dropping, likes. I don't know what happened, I can't get it to work. So if you know how to make the Twitch work, holla at me. Anyways, or just streaming in general, just holla at me. Cause I can't fix it. I've tried hella times. Anyways, I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate all y'all. Deuces.
Walking through the crease and the cracks of the streets, struggling for some food and a bed to sleep, while trying to cause overthrow. I'm feeling weak, ideology buff.